For many years, I have heard about the infamous Kirby Road in Vaughan, Ontario, but it wasn't until recently that I finally was able to look into it. I was driving into a pre-wedding party for my cousin at a groom's-to-be house and noticed that the road his house was on, Stephen Boulevard, was right off this Kirby Road I had heard murmurs of before. Supposedly, this road often fools with your radio. Your car will not start, and all sort of things that lead people to believe it was haunted. When I researched this, I found this wonderful blog, which I owe a great deal of credit to my further discoveries, as she was able to explain some of the legends surrounding this road, and the supposedly 2 haunted houses there, as well as the solitary tombstone of a teenage girl located on the road. I'll be focusing on one aspect of the haunted Kirby Road on this blog. To quote, "There are 3 stories concerning these houses. The first house is reported to have a reputation of crying babies and laughing children that are not there, and a tombstone with the words, 'Selena, I was a cute child,' written upon it nearby the house. It was also reputed that if you park your vehicle on the driveway and sit quietly, the little girl, Selena, will run around your vehicle, all the while tapping on it here and there." Sure enough, I just came back from visiting the site for the first time and eventually did find Selena's tomb. The tombstone is unique, not only because of the very peculiar "I'm a cute kid" epitaph, but because of the lack of last name, typeface, and obviously the location. It is located 3 lampposts from the supposedly haunted house, a house my companion and I decided we would go see after the tombstone. However, plans changed. We did not see an apparition of Selena, hear her cry or laugh, or see anything spookier than any rural road at 1:30 AM would be. But part of the legend of Kirby Road includes a truck that would supposedly chase away anyone who comes to investigate and then suddenly disappear. Some accounts say it's red, and some that it only has 1 headlight. After we were done looking at Selena's tomb, we decided to wait till one moving car passed by so that it would be slightly safer to walk back on the shoulder of the road. But the car did not pass. It pulled over right in front of us and Selena's tomb. A pickup truck, but one with both headlights, and one that we believed to be black. The windows were not rolled down, and nobody got out of the truck. My companion and I found that as good as time as any to get out of there, and proceeded to walk back to my car, which had parked over at Stephanie Boulevard, just under half a kilometer away. The truck did not move from its place for at least 5 minutes. I remind you that this was at approximately 1:30 AM. I suppose it's entirely possible that the driver just saw 2 people at the side of the road and decided to pull over and see what was going on, or that they too knew that Selena's tomb was there and just happened to be visiting at the same time. But the fact that nobody ever got out of the car or approached us in any way is peculiar, and the fact that it was a pickup truck is at least eerily coincidental. We didn't get a chance to investigate the house. I know I will certainly be making another trip there, as I still do have so much left to discover. Who is Selena? Why does she have a tombstone at the side of the road? Which stories about Kirby Road are true? And how are they related, if at all? I'm being a little dishonest here, as I have discovered the answer to a few of these questions already. But we'll be saving that for another time now. From the Natural Mama. This Friday past, we decided to check out 2 houses we had heard about on Kirby Road in Maple, Ontario. It was interesting, the experiences to say the least. I saw something that would blow my mind, and is not the first time I've seen a possible apparition. I'll get to that little story later on. There are 3 stories concerning these houses. The first house is reported to have a reputation of crying babies and laughing children that are not there, and a tombstone with the words, "Selena, I was a cute child," written upon it nearby the house. It is also reputed that if you park your vehicle on the driveway and sit quietly, the little girl, Selena, will run around your vehicle, all while tapping on it here and there. I did not experience this part of the suspected phenomena, but I did see what I believed to be a young girl around the age of 8 or 9 years old, with a nightgown on and long black hair, sitting in the second tree on the right when walking onto the property from the driveway, staring back at me. She was leaning outward and staring right at me. Scared the living crap out of me when I saw this apparition out of the corner of my eye, and turned back to see what I thought was shadowing. It was clear as day to me, but then I'm a believer in the paranormal. We did voice recordings and photographing of the place as well, and have some interesting photos and recordings of both houses. Still going through all of it. The people who own this land are in the process of renovation. I do not recommend trespassing on people's properties, and always ask first before you go paranormal investigating. Always get permission from the owners of the properties. They have a torn down chicken coop as well, as they are in the process of tearing down the barn or renovating the barn. Items found in the barn's basement: old Italian workbook, old picture book, circa 1854, a Triumph dirt bike, circa late 40s or 50s possibly, horseshoes, old looking and very worn. The main house is locked and being renovated for occupancy, possibly occupied already. Again, I must stress, ask permission before you enter this property. There is also a story of a one-headlight semi-truck that passes under the bridge before you get to the house, and through your vehicle if you are parked there. Apparently, and I can neither confirm nor deny it with research at this point, the semi was involved in a horrible accident many years ago. It may be an urban legend spin-off from the second house that I'm about to tell you. You'll see why in a second. The second house, rather set of houses, has 2 houses on the property and 2 barns. The flooring of both houses are very dangerous. If you decide to check this one out, at the end of the Kirby road by the way, watch your footing, bring good flashlights, and keep an eye out for skunks, raccoons and bats. This house is called the Hell House. It is reputed to have been owned by a family of 7, where the father was involved with the KKK. The first, larger barn is also reputed to be a gathering place of the KKK. The story goes that the father went nuts and killed his family, including his little girl of the same age as the first house. There, you will find a lot of graffiti like, "You are not alone" and "Murder is awesome," as well as "I am watching you." Obviously, this is added by human hands to amp up the hype about these houses and the purported hauntings. It is said, and this is possibly the urban legend transferred to the semi-truck with one headlight phenomena at the other house, that a man in a red pickup truck will chase you out of the property if he catches you on it, then disappear into thin air. There is also a story of a young woman who is walking the road and suddenly screams, then runs into a nearby cornfield screaming bloody murder. This is purported to be about a woman who was attacked, abused, and murdered in the cornfield near this property. She is supposed to disappear into the cornfields if you follow her. I cannot confirm or deny any of these stories by research at this point, neither in architectural history, land history, or anything in old newspapers or obits as of yet. I cannot find anything on any of these stories, and we never did find a tombstone. However, I have been told that a few friends of friends who hang out regularly at these areas have seen the tombstone and reported being chased by both the red pickup and the semi with one headlight, as well as seeing the woman in the cornfields. How accurate these are, I do not know. But I do know, I am sure I saw something that night that is unexplainable. All 19 of us present at both sites were adults, not children. So how is it I saw a child in a tree at 1 AM in the morning on a Friday night? I cannot explain it, but I will be researching it and will update if I do ever find any information on these properties.